Starting a print-on-demand business in 2026 can be a bit of a double-edged sword now that there are so many options. On one hand, you have the freedom to put as many designs on as many products as you want, and there are constantly new options coming out all the time. But on the other side of that is the risk of turning your shop into something that resembles more of a garage sale than a business with an actual strategy behind it. So for today, I thought I'd share with you two sets of core products that I actively sell in my shops. One set are the gold standards that I've used since practically the beginning in my original shop, and the second set are products that I've broken into with my new shop that I started last year. I'll do a little review of each of them along the way, provide insight on how and when I choose to add new products, and don't miss the ending because I'll share the number one mistake that I see new sellers make all the time when it comes to products and how to prevent it. In case you haven't met yet, my name is Mandy. Think of me as kind of like your big sister in business who is fully obsessed with being an Etsy print-on-demand seller. In real life, I'm a busy boy mom and actively run multiple successful Etsy shops myself. But I am also on a mission to help creative entrepreneurs like you feel confident with designing, identifying profitable niches, and growing a successful business so that your products get seen, loved, and sold without inventory and without the overwhelm. Starting with shop one, that is definitely more of a general shop, but it's got a heavy lean towards, we'll call it personal passions. Think things that people feel very strongly about, whether it's politics or activism or faith, things like that fall under personal passions. And the first product is really where I started years ago, and that is the Gildan 18,000 crewneck sweatshirts. And this is still a very strong seller for me in my shop. When people tend to think of a good old-fashioned traditional crewneck sweatshirt, this is what they think of. It's one of the most affordable options, and you can also get it in a variety of printing methods, including the one that I typically use, which is direct-to-garment, but they also have embroidery as well. Some sellers also like the comfort color sweatshirts, but they're definitely different, and not all customers are used to that particular style. I have an older but still helpful video where I did a comparison between a few different sweatshirt types, but otherwise, this one is definitely my go-to. I typically sell through SimplyPOD for all of my apparel. I've used them pretty much since day one, and they are still my personal provider of choice. Now, if you want a slightly more premium version, but still in kind of that Gildan family, I recommend checking out the soft style options. Gildan has them for both sweatshirts. They start with the code SF, and they also have them for hoodies. As the name implies, they are softer to the touch. I have a couple samples of them, and the hoodies in particular have some unique colors, but they do run a few bucks extra. I should also mention that I do use Printify Premium, their subscription option, which does help to save on a percentage off. You can see here what the regular starting price is, as well as the Printify Premium price. So you can see that it does save you on some of those production costs. Now, when I have a design selling a sweatshirt, the next place I would go is to a t-shirt. And for that, I definitely go for the Comfort Colors 1717. These by far sell the best for t-shirts across so many niches. And if you are planning on selling t-shirts, this would be it, and this would be where I would start. They are garment dye, which gives them a much more retro vintage look that customers love. And these tend to be used on most of the trending listings that you see on Etsy. When I first started using print on demand for fulfillment, Comfort Colors were not even quite a thing yet. And when they were really hard to sell because inventory was very volatile. Nowadays, as you can see, you have lots of options within the Printify network. Again, I typically use the POD, and that's been my go-to provider since literally day one. One thing I will mention when it comes to Comfort Colors is that, like many other pieces of apparel, but particularly for Comfort Colors, is you will have many pretty colors to choose from. Instead of choosing all the colors, I typically have 6 to 8 that I use as my light shirt options for designs that are darker. So white, ivory, butter, blossom, orchid, bay, and chambray, which is a light blue, tend to be some of my go-tos. And I have a set of 6 to 8 that I use as my dark shirt options for my lighter designs, such as black, pepper, moss, denim, violet is a nice purple color, berry, light green, and a blue jean. Nowadays, when I create a new listing in this shop, I typically do start with Comfort Colors t-shirts. Then, when a design sells, I scale it to a new listing for Gildan sweatshirts. Sometimes it depends on the time of year. We're going into spring and summer, so definitely would be starting with Comfort Colors. If we were going into fall and winter, I typically reverse that and will often start with a sweatshirt and then scale to a t-shirt. Either way works, but that is how I will do an initial scaling for a design that sells. Now, there are also complementary products that I've added over time in this shop, meaning they're not my core products. They're not typically the first thing that I will put a design on, but I've added them to my shop based on customer requests or because they made sense for a specific design that was selling, or for the customers that I'm already reaching in my existing niches. So, the first one that I really like is tote bags. And right now, I am selling the Liberty bags, and I'm using Monster Digital for that. If you've watched past product videos from me, you probably remember that I previously was a big fan of the large shopping totes from Duplium. And don't get me wrong, I still love them, but shipping has gotten a bit cost prohibitive since they are coming from Canada. So I like these as a really solid alternative. And the bonus here is that they come in two colors. So you can get them in the standard canvas natural color, and they also have a black color. My next complementary product that I have sold over the years is mugs. Now, historically, I used to always use the spoke version with both the 11 ounce and 15 ounce. But now Printify has a few other options where you can design them all together in one place on one listing with your variations. And so it just makes it a little easier than having to manually add them. And so more recently, I've started switching some listings to SimplyPOD just to consolidate my providers when possible. I've also gotten samples from Monster Digital, so if you use them for apparel, that could be a good option for mugs as well for scaling to keep them in that same provider. And then the other product that I've been using for this shop is the garden flags, and I specifically like the ones from Pick the Gift. Now, this one is a bit niche, but they work great when you combine them with a specific customer identity, especially going into this time of year where it's spring and summer and people are thinking about their garden, having decorations for their house. So think statements or values that people might display in their yard or garden, but also celebratory milestones as well. Could be something like graduations. You would be surprised at how well these sell. They do come in a couple of different sizes, but the one that I typically prefer is the 12 by 18. That's the smaller one that hangs like this instead of the kind that goes on the house. And largely because some customers didn't like the fact that it doesn't come with the little hooks or fasteners that would normally keep it in place on these bigger ones, whereas I typically don't have any issues with this smaller one. But I do include a disclaimer in my listing photos to indicate that it doesn't come with any hardware or anything like that. It's just the flag. In every case, regardless of the product, I'm using the same niche or same design or both that I've already had proven success with in my shop for these complementary products. Now, when it comes to pricing for any of these, I always recommend looking at the average across your specific niche and across the product type in general. Not the clickbait low price that you might see, but the actual out the door price for both the product and shipping that the customer is actually paying for the intended product. I tend to price in the top 30-ish% so that my listings have perceived value. And I do not, I repeat, do not use clickbait or break even pricing ever. Now let's look at the products in Shop 2. Now, originally, this started as just another one of my many test shops, but after some early sales with testing, I decided to follow the same approach that I've shared from my 30-day growth strategies, where I picked from one of my top 5 niche themes and started intentionally building into one specific sub-niche or theme at a time with one product focus at a time. Basically, I treated it like a real shop and followed a real plan. I chose the theme of life milestones. Think birthdays, bachelorettes, baby showers. And if you want to dive more into my different themes, I'll be sure to link all of those resources below. They are completely free videos, and the 30-day growth video in particular includes a free downloadable guide. The first core product that I have in this shop is under home decor, and that is the indoor wall tapestries, or sometimes called fabric banners. These are perfect for life milestones because people buy them as decor for their gatherings and events to celebrate those milestones. The provider that I use for these inside the printify network is MWW On Demand. You can design them both vertically and horizontally. I honestly tend to design vertically most often because my brain is so used to that orientation from designing apparel for so many years. But honestly, both sell and I get requests for the horizontal orientation too. The most popular sizes that I sell have been the 50 by 60 and the 60 by 80, but I include all of them as variations to choose from. The other nice little bonus about MWW is that they do also have a facility in Germany. So I actually get a decent number of European orders that arrive to those customers pretty quickly compared to if they had to wait for them to come from the States. So it's a nice little added bonus with that one as well. Now, a few disclaimers that I make sure to include for my customers on these is that they do not come with rod pockets, meaning it's just a flat hemmed piece of fabric. So I also add hanging suggestions in my listing photos so that customers know what to do with them when they arrive. This could include things like an adjustable banner stand from Amazon, 3M command strips, I particularly like the Velcro kind, push pins, or using clips to attach it to a string or rod, depending on the space they're using it for. I'll admit, when I first started selling these, I was a little skeptical that people actually did that. But yes, in fact, it's quite common, and aside from the handful of people that don't read anyway, most customers do in fact love these things, and I get very few complaints. The next core product that I sell is the hardcover journals, and the ones that I prefer are from District Photo. Now, I'll admit, I'm normally a spiral notebook girly, but when it comes to demand on Etsy and what customers are actually buying, because as it turns out, it's not actually about me, these sell great when you target them for specific customer identities. So since I'm selling in the Life Milestones theme, things like guest books or letters to the bride or event keepsakes make great options, especially since you can design for specific themes. I've got a separate video where I talk about these in more detail and walk through a design example as well. The notebooks do arrive really nicely shrink wrapped, and the soft matte cover actually makes them feel pretty high end. Now, because it's an all over design wrap, you can actually design on the front and the back. Just make sure you include in your listing photos that there's a small little code on the back so that it's not a surprise when it shows up. And that just comes from the fulfillment process. Now, there are complementary products that I also have in this shop. Again, not the core product selection with the tapestries and journals, but specific products I've created based on specific themes or customer requests where they make sense to. Much like with my other shop, I'm scaling to complementary products based on themes and designs that I've already proven to sell in my existing niches. So much like my other shop, I do occasionally use comfort colors in this shop as well. Now, notice I'm talking about these as complementary products and not my core product like I did in my other shop. These are particularly great for matching options. Like I said, I don't have a ton of these because it's just really not my focus in this shop. But the ones I do have are simple in their designs and they sell really well for the specific themes that I use them for. Can coolers are another product that I sell as a complimentary option. I like the ones from Pick the Gift. They have both the regular and slim can options, and the pricing is a bit better on theirs as well. Now, that being said, these are lower profit per unit. So the money here is not in selling one, but in selling many in bulk orders, which is what makes them great as complementary options. In the Life Milestones niche, people like to buy them to match their theme as favors for their guests or as keepsakes. think bachelorettes, birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, so many ways that these can work. And finally, ornaments. I like the ones from SwiftPod because they have a slightly different printing method. They're printed with UV versus sublimation, and the surface has almost kind of a slight texture to it. So the print on them ends up really, really nice and clear almost all of the time. I do have a video that dives into them a bit more that I'll link for you. Now, these do best during Q4, obviously, but I create them for very specific buyer intent, meaning I design around themes in my shop where someone is celebrating a milestone, such as getting married, baby's first Christmas, and so on. That is what makes them complementary to my other products while still fitting with the life milestones connection and those specific niches. Since milestones can happen all year, I leave them up all year because people actually buy them throughout the year as gifts to have for things like bridal showers, baptisms, birthdays, all sorts of different milestones that can happen. Now, I could sit here and hype you up on all the new shiny products in the catalog, or try and convince you that you must add this one product to your shop and that's going to suddenly make all the difference. And look, there's nothing wrong with checking out new products, but the number one mistake that I see with new sellers all the time is that they get so caught up in trying all the options that they end up with a dozen different products scattered randomly across 30 different niches without actually thinking about, does this make sense for my shop and where I'm at in my growth? If you have gotten sales and momentum with your niches and designs, then experimenting with a new product type and applying what you already know works makes sense. This is why I have products with a specific purpose in my own shops. If I'm adding a new theme or design style, I typically start with just one of the core products because then I can batch them together and work efficiently. And if I'm scaling a theme or design, then I turn to those other complementary options. But if you are still in the place of finding consistent momentum and reaching consistent sales, then constantly bouncing around to lots of different products isn't going to solve the root problem, or at the very least, will be a distraction. You need to place more emphasis on your research and creating designs that sell, and less emphasis on the shiny new things. Chances are it's usually your research and designs that need some more work, and not necessarily another new product. And that's normal. If you can, pick just one product to focus on and list with. Do that consistently and repeatedly until you start seeing actual results. If you're on the fence between apparel and non-apparel, I get it. That's usually a diverging point. So if you're really trying to decide which is the best option for you, narrow it down. Perhaps choose one apparel item, like cover color shirts, and one giftable item, such as journals. Alternate them between your design batches each week or each month, then let the data do the talking. I'll be the first to admit that it's really easy to get sucked in by the latest shiny new product. The possibilities are what create endless print on demand opportunities. But the key here is that when you are adding products to your shop, you need to ask yourself whether or not it makes sense for the audience that you are trying to attract, and whether or not you already have proof that you have a niche and design strategy that's already working. Have you actually gotten any momentum in any of the products you've already tried? Or are you just crashing out on another new product in the hopes that it'll fix the problem that you haven't actually addressed? This is how you transition from a shop full of random products that don't make sense and leave you feeling confused into an actual strategy for scaling effectively. If you'd like a deeper dive into the principles of getting seen, loved, and sold, the next place I recommend going to on my channel is that free series so that you can create a really strong foundation for scaling. And of course, if you'd like support while you're figuring out your strategies or navigating your shop's growth, that's exactly why I also created Simply Thrive, my monthly membership where you'll get access to monthly niche and trend reports, bestseller design templates, coaching calls where I answer member questions live, and of course, a supportive group of fellow sellers. I hope this was helpful for you as you continue growing your Etsy shop. And as always, stay focused, my friends, keep taking action, and never stop pursuing excellence in your business. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here. and I'll see you in the next one.